on the eve of Alabama, Florida. SEC opener for the Crimson Tide taking place tomorrow, Saturday, Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, the Swamp in Gainesville. Yours truly, Stephen M. Smith of Touchdown, Alabama Magazine, and TDA breaking news writer Patrick Dowd will be there, getting you all the action, all the news, notes, and information on your favorite program, covering the game, covering your Crimson Tide. But for right now, you're rocking and rolling with the #1 show in the land, talking your Bama football in my own words, coming to you from the magic city of Birmingham, streaming this to you on YouTube. Speaking of the channel, go ahead right now, drop a thumbs up, give a like on the show, hit that subscribe button, turn all of those notifications on, hit that little bell so that way you can get all of your entertainment when it comes down to talking your Crimson Tide. We also got you covered on Facebook and Twitter as well. All forms of social media streaming to you the show. Gotta shout out my man John Ivory, pulling a new emotion out of me, bringing us in with that jazzy beat to start off a Friday TGIF edition of the show. So appreciate my man John Ivory in the production studio doing his thing, and we want to hear from you guys today, the Bama fans. You can do this by calling 205-448-1358. That is the number to dial to let your voice be heard on the show, 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. We have a lot to get into here on this evening. We'll be joined later on in the show by a Bama legend. We're talking about one of the best receivers to play in the history of the program, my man Antonio Carter, AC, coming on a little bit later on today. His team, the 1999 Crimson Tide, beat Florida twice that season. It beat Spurrier and the Gators in the SEC Championship, but it also beat Florida in the Swamp in Gainesville that year in overtime, 40-39, ending the 37 home game winning streak for Florida. That was the longest active winning streak in college football at that time, prior to Bama beating it in 1999. AC Antonio Carter in Alabama being able to beat Spurrier at his peak, at his apex. So it'll be awesome to get a chance to talk with him later on in the show here. As always, people, that daily super chat go, $75 daily super chat go. Appreciate the love from each and every last one of you helping us out here on the show. But we jump in right now to topic #1 of the conversation. This would be the important factors or the 3 keys for Alabama in terms of taking care of Florida, handling Florida, defeating Florida in the hostile environment known as the Swamp. Now, these are not the only 3 keys. There are other factors out there. There are other keys out there for yours truly, just for me. These will be my keys. These will be my important factors here for Alabama in terms of taking care of Florida. Crimson Tide had a very good week of practice this week. Coach Saban talked about it. Guys back focused, guys re-energized, guys back locked in on understanding what the challenge is, understanding what the goal is, understanding what the mission is for this week, because now here is the push for an SEC championship. Here is the push for trying to get into the college football playoff and, most importantly, winning a national championship. So the first key, or the first important factor, goes to the offensive line, and this group has to protect Bryce Young. It must give Young time in the pocket here to make plays. And this group, from left to right, Evan Neal, Javion Cohan, Darian Dalcourt, Emil Ekiyor Jr., and one Chris Owens. And this is an offensive line that was very disappointed in the way it played last week against Mercer. The Bears were able to get some pressure to Young, knock him down a little bit, get some sacks, and after the game, Chris Owens at right tackle, he was very ticked off at himself. He was very upset and frustrated with his performance, saying things like, I didn't do my job. I let the team down. I let my brothers down. I did not have my best performance on the field. And the offensive line as a whole kind of felt that same sentiment. We did not do our job. We did not perform our responsibility. We did not execute the way we needed to or the way we were supposed to. And throughout the entire week, the offensive line got it right in practice. The group intensity, the group effort, the group focus. Doug Marrone, as offensive line coach, he challenged this group. Nick Saban challenged this group. Even, the older guys on this group challenged themselves and the guys around them to be sure we give our 100%. We give our effort. We give our intensity. We do our jobs because we know Florida's going to come in here, or we're going to go down to Florida and face a team that's meaning business. Florida is treating this matchup like it's their Super Bowl. You have a lot of Gator fans that are wondering, is Dan Mullen really the guy? Did we truly make the right hire in terms of the coach we brought in here? We're trying to get back to the Steve Spurrier times. We're trying to get back to the Urban Meyer / Tim Tebow time. So was Dan Mullen the correct hire? Was Dan Mullen the appropriate hire for us? And Gator fans are going to figure that out this weekend because there's a lot of juice, there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of anticipation going on in the swamp. Like, people feel like Florida's got a legitimate chance to pull out this upset victory here over the Crimson Tide. And defensive coordinator Todd Grantham for Florida, he is going to come after Bryce Young. Now, of course, Florida will not have Ventrell Miller, their captain at middle linebacker this week for the game. Had a little injury there. I think a torn biceps tendon, torn biceps muscle. So he's out for the season. It's a big loss there for Florida. But still, they've got guys like Brenton Cox Jr., Zachary Carter, Jeremiah Moon, who's a native of Birmingham. They're all going to be coming after Bryce, trying to get the pressure, get by the offensive line, and affect the sophomore quarterback in the pocket. So this is a big statement here. This is a big game for this Alabama offensive line, especially when you look at trying to defend that crown as the Joe Moore Award-winning group. From Chris Owens down to Evan Neal, they know what the job is. Got to protect Bryce Young and getting this thing started. So the next key here, the next factor for the Crimson Tide, I'm going to go with, Bill O'Brien and Bryce Young, and that's getting off to a fast start. The Alabama offense as a whole starting fast. Going back to last week's game against the Bears, the home opener, it took a blocked punt by Chris Braswell, recovered by Jace McClellan, and returned for a 21-yard touchdown to get Alabama's offense going. This week right here, the offense has got to come out with a bang. Got to come out on fire. Got to come out, dictating terms, dictating the tempo. Got to take the crowd out the game early because it's going to be a ruckus crowd. It's going to be a sold-out crowd. It's going to be a rambunctious bunch, especially after last season we did not have this due to the COVID protocol. So for Alabama's offense, you're trying to take a crowd out the game early. Bill O'Brien, Bryce Young, offense has got to start fast. Now the key here for O'Brien, who will be coaching this game in the booth, will be, will he choose to open the offense up early with Bryce and get Young on the attack with deep ball passes, with slant patterns, with post routes, with timing routes? Will he choose to open the offense up, or does O'Brien select to lean on this offensive line, let this front line show you they're better, let this front line show you they're prepared, let this front line show you how good it is and how improved it is? You lean on this group and you run Brian Robinson and you run Trey Sanders and you run Jace McClellan and Roydell Williams, because according to the weather forecast that I've seen predicted for this weekend, there could be some rain here in the forecast. And if that becomes the case, be a good thing to kind of lean on that offensive line, run the football, showcase that balance, showcase that dominance up front, especially with Florida not having the captain in the middle, that being one Ventrell Miller. But we'll see how O'Brien plays. But the number two big thing is this Bama offense has got to come out. It's got to start fast. And then last but not least here, final key, Pete Golding. This is a statement game for Pete Golding, one of two. Because last season, the Alabama defense gave up 40-plus points to two teams. It gave up 46 to Florida in the SEC Championship, and it gave up 48 points to Ole Miss. So a lot of Bama fans want to believe in Pete Golding. A lot of Alabama fans, they want to believe. But Alabama made the right move at defensive coordinator in choosing Golding. But this is his big moment, hostile environment. This is his big moment to really say, I was the man for the job. His play calling got to be on point. His play calling got to be A1. He has got to outclass. He has got to outcoach. He has got to out-scheme Dan Mullen. And we know Dan Mullen is one of the biggest schemers in college football. We know he's going to have the strategy ready, whether he goes with one quarterback, whether he goes with both, regardless what the case may be. We know Dan Mullen is one of the biggest strategists in college football. So for Pete Golding, this is his opportunity to show the Tide fans, I was the right hire, I was the right move, I was the right person for this job. He's got to come out here. Guys have got to be in the right positions, in the right spots, in the right areas to make plays. The play calling's got to be crisp. The design has got to be crisp. If he's timing up blitzes, those blitzes have to come on point, whether it's up the middle, whether it's around the edges, whether it's a delayed blitz, whether it's twists, stunts, turns, whether it's off the hot corner. From a defensive back perspective, whatever Pete Golding does in this game, it's got to be timed, it's got to be calculated, and it's got to hit right, because a lot of Bama fans still, with the jury is out, I don't know about Pete. I still don't trust Coach Golding. I still don't trust him. I mean, I know the defense got better down the stretch last year, but it's just something that refuses to let my heart fall in love with Pete Golding, especially with who we had in the past with Kirby Smart and with Jeremy Pruitt. So Pete got to show us something. That's for a lot of U.S. fans. Pete has got to show you something out there on the field. So this is a huge game for him, being able to outplay, out-scheme, out-coach, out-strategize Dan Mullen and have this defense in situations, in spots where it's making plays all over the field. But those are just my keys. And they're not all the keys, not every key, but these are just my keys, my factors, my opinions. When you look at the offensive line from left tackle to right tackle, you got to protect Bryce Young. He's trying to have a huge matchup against Florida, but you got to protect him there in the pocket. Number two, for Bill O'Brien and Bryce Young, their offense has got to get off to a fast start. Will we see Bryce on the attack early? Will we see Alabama choosing to lean on the rushing attack? What will Bill O'Brien do to set the tone? Remains to be seen, but got to get off to a fast start. And then last but not least, Pete Golding. This is his opportunity. This is his time to show the Bama Nation, I was the right man. I was the right move. I was the right person for the job at defensive coordinator. But folks, we're going to go to our first break here on the show. Don't touch that dial. We're just getting pumped up here on a Friday. Upon our return, we go to the phone lines to take your calls, your thoughts, your tweets, your chats, your interactions. A conversation with Bama Nation. You guys comes after this.
You're watching In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith, brought to you by We Own the Fourth Quarter. Get your four-finger bling necklace today by visiting weownthefourthquarter.com. Throw them foes up.
What's up, and this is Marvin Constant, All-SEC linebacker and 1999 SEC champion. You are listening to In My Own Words, brought to you by Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Roll Tide.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care. In support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion, and ordering is easy. Visit Emily'sHeirloomPoundCakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at Emily'sHeirloomPoundCakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
All right, people, we're back in from the break on the hottest show on the streets here, talking your Crimson Tide on a Friday TGIF edition of the show on the eve of Bama, Florida, down there in the swamp, SEC opener for the Crimson Tide. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen M. Smith. Touchdown, Alabama Magazine. Before we go to the phone lines, we got some super chats to get to. So how about Jimmy Cashman throwing in the bag, Clay, that $50 donation helping us out here on the show. And then we got Roll Tide and Rise Up with that $25 donation helping us out right there. And then we got Cliff Reese. Cliff Reese, that $5 donation helping us out right there. That super chat goal, $75 has been met. Appreciate Jimmy Clay, Roll Tide, Rise Up, and Cliff Reese. And we even got the Bama Standard. The Bama Standard helping us out with that $9.99 in the super chats. Appreciate the love that coming from my guy Justin Riley helping us out here on the show. And we're going to go to the phone lines right now to take your calls. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. For number to call in to let your voice be heard on the show, 205-448-1358. We grab a call right here. You are live on the show. It's Friday. What's up? How you feeling? State your name and where you're calling from.
Doing well, Stephen. This is Byron from Brooklyn. Called the show a couple of times ago, and good to be back with you. Looking forward to our team's first test. Well, not first test, but real SEC opponent this Saturday. And just wanted to get your thoughts on a few things. For me, I'm kind of interested to see what our right tackle looks like. Chris Owen is out there. He's playing his heart out, man. 6-year senior. He's been putting in the work. But I'm looking for a little bit of more, quality reps from on that right side to try to protect, Bryce when he has to step up in that pocket. Also looking for a little separation from the wide receivers. Can't really too much tell when you're watching from your couch at home, but it looks like we may be working to get a little bit more separation from our wideouts. I'm looking to see what JoJo Earl does. And to me, and I know this might be blasphemy, Stephen, you tell me, but to me, and I know Coach said that he has a little Waddle in him, and we just, Waddle he's in a league of his own, man. He's just different. But to me, JoJo Earl reminds me of David Palmer, the old Deuce. His body type, his movement may not be so fast, straight ahead, but he's herky-jerky. He looks like he's a playmaker. We're going to see what happens. I think this will be really his coming out party this weekend. And, of course, looking to see how Drew Sanders continues to elevate. I like how he played against Mercer, just all over the place, batting down balls, being in the right spots, just really strong on that side of the ball on defense. So just want to see what you have to say about those things there. Thanks again, Steven. Talk to you later.
Appreciate the call right there from my man out of Brooklyn. And I'm excited to see all the guys. I do want to see Chris Owens, stepping up there at right tackle. Alabama's also got J.C. Latham and Damian George working there as well. But I do want to see Chris Owens show that improvement. I'm excited to see the wide receiver room who kind of separates themselves. So outside of Mechie and Jamison Williams, Slade Bolden, definitely want to see JoJo Earl. So this is going to be a good week for a lot of things. We grab another call right here. You are live on the show on a Friday, TGIF edition of the show. How you feeling? State your name and where you're calling from.
This is the Lone Ranger calling in. I'm calling in from parts unknown, wanting to talk to Stephen M. Smith. I tell you what, this is one heck of a show. I see everybody in the chat, all the love they give me there, the Bama Standard, everybody on here. I tell you what, the Lone Ranger had to stop and give a silver there. I had to give him a little water break there. He was getting tired on me, Stephen. So give me some good news about Alabama today. Like the Lone Ranger, give me some. Make me feel real good today. Put it on me.
Okay, Wagner, here we go. So Will Anderson practiced Thursday, and he did more yesterday than what he did all week. So he is trending to play Saturday. He plays Saturday.
There it is. Silver perked his ears up. He's ready to go. He snorted a little bit, said, hop on. We got to take off here and get these bandits. We headed towards Florida. We're going to put them in jail. They outlaws. They got to come back and pay the price, these Florida Gators. But anyway, I got the cup ready. I'm going to send it Monday. My buddy, he does some stickers, so he's printing some stickers we're going to put on the side of the cup there and send it on to you. So I'll mail it Monday, and he's going to redo the Blue Rinse Gang on the bottom of it there. So you can set that on your desk. That'll be from me and the Blue Rinse Gang with a few stickers on it for everybody that loves you here on the show. So I'm going to get out of here. It's Friday. It's a big day. I love everybody, cities, towns, country, and the states. CDA appreciates every one of you. I love every one of you, too. Let's have a good ball game tomorrow, a safe ball game. Let's beat them Gators, and I'll see everybody on Monday. God bless everybody. I love all of you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Appreciate the call there coming from Wayland here on a Friday. We take our next call right now. You are live on the show. What's going on? How you feeling? State your name and where you're calling from.
Hey, Stephen M. This is Robert from Mobile.
Big Rob, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, this is going to be the first real road test Alabama's had in almost 2 years. Even from last year, it seemed with COVID and all, they never played in front of full stadiums. So it's a different noise level when the stadium's half full versus when it's completely full. So it's going to be a huge test for them coming up. Not that last year's team would have done any different had they been a full stadium or an empty stadium. In fact, it would have been fun watching them quiet the crowd after jumping out the big leads, especially in LSU. But since bottom line is they didn't have to play in those crowds, which helped the offense be even more efficient. So it's really going to be interesting to see how the offensive line handles the silent counts and that sort of thing, and if they can get their act together. But particularly on the running game. So it's really time to see some lanes open up for some big runs with the running backs. I hadn't quite seen that yet. Be good to see in this Florida game, and again protect Bryce Young better. Let's get the young man where he doesn't have to hardly dust off his uniform. It's so clean for the game. So it'll be really interesting to see what the offensive line does in this. But this is the test here. See how they handle for the rest of the season, especially when they get into Auburn.
Absolutely. Appreciate that call there. Robert from Mobile checking in here on the show. And I agree that there's a lot of things I want to see in this game. I want to see the offensive line step up, left tackle to right tackle, especially at that right tackle spot where Chris Owens is concerned. I want to see the Tide run the football. Brian Robinson to have that big moment. Other backs, too, get some run in there also, depending on what the weather looks like or is set to be for Saturday. I want to see Bill O'Brien open some things up. There's a lot to look forward to. There's a lot to be excited about, but the main thing here is getting in here, executing the game plan, taking the crowd out the game as quickly as you possibly can. Because that's a hostile environment, that's a hostile crowd, and as fast as you can take that crowd out, that's what you want to do here. But we're going to switch this topic here. Going back to Will Anderson, I mentioned that, Coach Saban announced on his weekly radio show Thursday, hey, Coach, that Will did a lot of things in Thursday's practice, more than what he did on Tuesday and Wednesday. He had Monday off, so trending toward playing against Florida. I think he plays. Because he was able to walk off the field under his own power from the Mercer game, I just think it was one of those situations where he got a slight ding in his knee. The coaching staff allowed him to rest on Monday, not go out there to practice. He got Tuesday and Wednesday to work. He went through walkthroughs yesterday and worked, did a whole lot. So I'm looking forward to seeing the Terminator, number 31, the sophomore at outside linebacker Will Anderson, take this field here against Florida. But we go to a break right now, folks. Don't touch that dial, because when we get back, we'll be joined by the legend, former Alabama wide receiver Antonio Carter. Will be joining us live to break down Bama, Florida. You'll hear from Carter after this.
Chris Rogers, 2009 national champion. You are listening to the baddest, when I say the baddest, sports show in the state of Alabama. In my own words, yours truly, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Don't touch that dial.
know what we do at the start of the fourth quarter. We throw them foes up. But now, you don't have to wait until the fourth quarter. Get your four-finger bling necklace at WeOwnTheFourthQuarter.com. It's the first and only logo that captures the essence of all Crimson Tide players and fans as we represent the legendary Alabama football fourth quarter dominance. Get your four-finger bling necklace right now at WeOwnTheFourthQuarter.com. Get yours today and stun on them haters. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide. Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
Look at all these great players in Touchdown Alabama magazine. Man, wait till I turn up this year. I'm gonna be on the front cover. But what if Will goes off? Or Joe, DeMarco, Chris, Tim, Christian.
Don't wait. Order now at touchdownalabama.com or call 833-483-2624 today.
Christian or Jameer.
We are back in here, folks. We're back into the action from the break of number one farm for Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen M. Smith, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. We're going to get ready to go to the phone, the In My Own Words hotline, to pick up my man Antonio Carter, AC, who played from 1999 to 2001 for the Crimson Tide. Now, his team in 99 beat Florida twice, beat them in the SEC championship game, but also beat them in the swamp in overtime, 40-39, ending that 37-game home winning streak that the Gators had, longest winning streak in college football at that time, before Carter and the Crimson Tide took care of business there. But I believe we got him on the line now, so we go over to the In My Own Words hotline. We pick up the legend, the man, one of the baddest wide receivers to play for your Crimson Tide. We got Antonio A.C. Carter in the building. My brother, what's happening with you?
Man, how you doing, Steven? Thank you so much for the opportunity, my friend.
Absolutely. We got AC in the building, Antonio Carter, former Alabama wide receiver, played from 1999 to 2001, actually got his degree in 2004 from the Crimson Tide. So, AC, this is a big matchup here. Home conference opener, SEC opener for Alabama, going down to the swamp here to play Florida. And I remember talking with you prior to coming on that your first opportunity as a starter, as a freshman in the 99 season, came against Florida in the swamp. You guys went out there, did y'all thing, took care of business. You made some big plays, including a touchdown catch from one Andrew Zhao. But here's a situation where Bryce Young, he's going into his first true road test, hostile environment. He's going down to the swamp to face Florida. What are you looking forward to seeing? What do you want to see from Bryce in terms of handling this moment?
Man, I would just tell that young man to relax. He's played in big games. It's just another game. I know it's the swamp. I know it's a lot of hype behind it. But, man, he's put the work in. He's prepared well. Just go down there, relax, give great effort, and have fun, man. You know, that's one of the things I always stand on. That's the step of improvement. Just go out there and give great effort and have fun, man, and relax. I'm excited to watch him. I know he's going to do that.
Absolutely. Got to be able to relax out there, have fun, and do your thing. We're joined here on the phone lines by We're joined here on the phone lines by my man Antonio Carter, former Alabama wide receiver, played from 1999 to 01. If you're just tuning into the show, had some big plays Carter did down in the swamp in that 1999 game right there. So, AC, you being a wide receiver, you're going to look at a wide receiver on Saturday and one in John Mechie, and you really like John Mechie's his style, his skill set, his toughness, what he brings to the table. What has you excited about Mechie in this matchup against Florida?
Man, Mechie's going to go out there and have a great game. He is. He's one of my favorites now. You know, Mechie does some great things. Unbelievable hands and concentration, catching the ball in traffic. But you know what he showed me, you know, kind of as the season went on last year, that he can get some yak. I put him with the yak boys, man. He know how to catch the ball and get some yards after the catch. So I'm thinking he's going to go in there and have a great game. You know, Bryce Young is going to sit in that pocket and make great throws. He's going to do his thing and focus on that football and be super exciting.
Absolutely. We got Antonio Carter on the phone lines, folks, former Bama wide receiver, talking Crimson Tide versus Florida this week or on Saturday. If you're just tuning in now, AC, you played with Sean Alexander. Like, you played with the greatest ever to ever do it out there running the football for the Crimson Tide. But Alabama's got Brian Robinson this year, Tuscaloosa native. He's waited behind so many dudes. He's been so patient. He's been so determined. He's been so hungry. In your opinion, is this the moment where B-Rob gets that big break and just runs all over Florida? Is this the moment for him?
Ain't no doubt. I've been saying it all week that this is the week for our run game to be outstanding. This is the run game coming out party. Up front, those guys are going to have a sensational day. But I'm telling you, B-Rob is going to come out and ball out. This is his coming out party. I'm just so proud of the young man. You know, the resilience he have shown, the toughness he have shown, the mental toughness. You know, he set his time, you know, this transfer portal. He could have went anywhere in the country and been a starting running back, been an All-American, done all those things. For him to stay home with his hometown team that he grew up wanting to play with and play for, to put that Crimson jersey on, I'm super, super proud of my little brother, man. And this is his coming out party. Ain't no doubt. I'm stamping that now. This is B-Rob, biggest game of the season.
We got Antonio Carter with some big heat, man. This is B-Rob's biggest game of the season. Hopefully the young man, the senior, taking that in, understanding the moment, and ready to take advantage of the moment. If you're just tuning into the show, we got Antonio Carter, former Alabama wide receiver, played from 99 to 2001 here on the show. So, AC, I kind of want to bring you back to your moment here. That game against Florida in the swamp in 99. You guys got the 40-39 overtime win. You had some big plays in that game, including the touchdown from Andrew Zal. But just what was the emotion like for you and for your teammates, knowing that it was you guys that ended the 37-game home winning streak for Florida and Spurrier? Well, what were the emotions like going into that game, throughout that game, and most importantly, at the end of the game?
Well, I would tell you, it started that week. You know, we had just come off a loss to La Tech in overtime in Legion Field. And, you know, no one gave us a chance. But I tell you, the leaders that we had, Andrew Zal, you know, Chris Samuels, Cornelius Griffith, you know, Paul Hogan. We had some leaders, Tim Bowen, some guys that was leaders that held us accountable. And we wrapped our arms around each other, man, and we said, hey, we can get this done. We believed in ourselves. We believed in us. We knew we had great talent. We had some really young guys, including myself, that was going to go out there and was going to have a chance to perform at a high level. And, man, that whole week was awesome. So we won that game that week in practice because we competed. I mean, Coach Dubose had us doing a lot of competitive one-on-one drills. I mean, a lot of tackling. I mean, it was a really tough practice going into that game. And so we had won that game that week. And so to go out there on Saturday, man, that's showtime. when they cut the lights on, it's time to just go out there and have fun and play ball because we had put the work in. And again, we just had some great leaders, man. Again, Chris Samuels and Zhao and those guys that led us to victory, man. And so it was easy for guys like myself, especially at receiver, when you got Sean Alexander, they eyeballs was on him. You know, they weren't thinking about a little freshman from Tallahassee, Florida to come down there and do anything. You know, guess what? I showed up and showed out, man.
Absolutely. Now, last quick one here on my end, AC, because this was actually an interesting story that you were telling me how the week of that game, you didn't know if you were going to start in that game because your teammate was actually going to start. Unfortunately, the young man became ineligible, and Dabo Swinney and the guys came to you and said, AC, this is your moment. How excited were you? What was that preparation like, getting that information that you were going to start that game?
Well, man, again, Coach Swinney had done a phenomenal job of always preparing us. You know, myself, Jason McCallie, Freddie Millens, Tim Bowens, he did a great job of preparing us for every game. So I went out there and prepared each day in practice as if I was a starter because you never know. And that was one thing Coach Swinney had always told us, that you're one play away. You're one play away from being that guy. And so, you know, being a competitor that I was, I loved the game, and I went out there and prepared my tail off. And when the opportunity came, I'll never forget, we got down there to Gainesville in that Florida, that hotel that Friday night. Coach Swinney came and knocked on my room door, and he said he needed me to come downstairs. And when I walked in, Coach Charlie Stubbs and Coach Dubose, they was all in the room where we was eating. And we go in, and they was, you know, talking to me, AC, you know, some things come up. You're going to start tomorrow. You know, it was kind of like cramming for the test. You know, they were like, AC, okay, we do this, we're going to do this. They were showing me some clips, and I kind of was smirking and laughing, you know. And at first, they didn't really think it was funny. But I looked at them, and I told them, I said, Coach, I'm ready. I'm ready. We have had a great week of practice. I've always waited for this moment. Coach Swinney always told us to be ready, you know, so I'm ready. And so once that kind of was out there, Coach Swinney kind of, you know, his young smile, cat ready, the guy he was, he said, AC, let's go. You know, let's go. And that's what we did. And we went out there and had a great game. And Coach Swinney, I'm just so thankful that Coach Swinney believed in me. Coach Dubose and those guys really believed in me to go out there and, you know, to hold it down for Shamar Buchanan, who wasn't able to play.
Absolutely. He is Antonio Carter. Ladies and gentlemen, former Alabama wide receiver, played from 99 to 2001. Big part of that 99 team that defeated Florida twice, including 40-39 in the Swamp, ending the Gators' 37-game home winning streak. AC, man, appreciate you, my brother, for coming on, chopping it up with me, spending some time with me on the show. You take care of yourself. You be good, man. Enjoy the game tomorrow.
Man, thank you so much again for having me, Stephen. Man, I really enjoyed it. It was a blessing meeting you earlier this week, and then to have me onto your show tonight, man, it's truly an honor and a blessing. I'm so thankful, and I'm proud of you, man. Keep doing what you're doing, having fun and getting us Bama fans and giving us former players, keeping us riled up and excited. So thank you so much for the opportunity, and roll tide for the Bama Nation.
Absolutely. Antonio Carter joined us live from the show. Great stuff there from him, helping us out there, talking Bama, Florida, coming up tomorrow. Ben Hill, Griffin Stadium, the Swamp, 2:30 p.m. Central Time kickoff. CBS has the call on the game. We take a break right now, people, but when we get back, it's back on you, Tide fans. Your calls, your thoughts, your chats, your interactions, your conversations right after this.
Don't touch that dial. Call in right now as we're taking your calls up next on In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith. Brought to you by We Own the Fourth Quarter. Visit WeOwnTheFourthQuarter.com now to get your four-finger bling necklace.
Cadell, former Alabama wide receiver, and you're listening to In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith with Touchdown Alabama Magazine. And I got 2 words to say, baby. Roll Tide.
You know what we do with a start of the fourth quarter, we throw them foes up. But now, you don't have to wait until the fourth quarter. Get your 4-finger bling necklace at WeOwnTheFourthQuarter.com. It's the first and only logo that captures the essence of all Crimson Tide players and fans as we represent the legendary Alabama football fourth quarter dominance. Get your 4-finger bling necklace right now at WeOwnTheFourthQuarter.com. Get yours today and stun on them haters. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide.
Back into the break here, folks, from the action on the number one forum for your Crimson Tide football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen M. Smith, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Appreciate that interview in the recent segment by my man Antonio Carter, former Bama receiver, played from 1999 to 01. That was awesome right there, a treat right there from him. Guys, shout out Nona Davis, that $5 donation, helping us out here on the show. Appreciate the love there from one Nona Davis. As we're back in from the break to take your calls. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. That's the number right there to let your voice be heard, 205-448-1358. We grab a call right here. You're live on the show on a Friday. How you feeling? What's going on? State your name and where you calling from.
Steven, what's going on? This is Jimmy Clay from Elba, Alabama. Roll Tide.
Jimmy Clay, the man is here. Jimmy Clay, what's going on, Jimmy?
Oh man, I'm ready for tomorrow, bud. I am ready. Okay, the SEC championship game in 1999 when Freddie Millens went 75 yards for that touchdown. Didn't Brad Nessler call that game?
I think he did. Nessler is one of the guys on the call. Yes.
Okay, good. Well, he's on call tomorrow, isn't he? Brad Nessler.
He'll be on the call. Have a repeat. He'll be on the call with Gary Danielson.
No. Gary can, he can go home. But I'm ready for that game, man. I am. I'm so sucked up. So how you been doing, brother?
Man, Jimmy, I cannot complain, man. We just had Antonio Carter in the recent segment.
Yeah,
He's got me pumped up, man. I am ready to get in the car and drive down to Gainesville right now.
All right, bud. All right, man. Roll Tide and have a great night.
Absolutely. Jimmy Clay calling in, the man, the myth, the legend, the bona fide king, Jimmy Clay, helping us out here on the show. And if you got thoughts that you want to put in here, 205-448-1358. That's the number to call in, 205-448-1358. 205-448-1358. If you want to have your picture featured on the show, you send that photo to tdalabamateam@gmail.com. That's tdalabamateam@gmail.com. You send the photo right to that email right there, and your photo along with your name will be featured on the show. Latest element here, or latest wrinkle to Touchdown Alabama Magazine. But a little bit of a quick topic here on the show as we switch gears here to one Nick Saban. So Alabama head coach Nick Saban will have his coaching philosophy documentary tonight, 8 p.m. Central Time on NFL Network. Get your DVRs prepared. I think that's gonna be groundbreaking. Coach Saban will be talking about the philosophy of coaching. It'll be detailing his life from him as a player, him as a grad assistant, him as a defensive coordinator, him as a head coach. Like, it's going to take you behind the scenes of the entire life story history of Coach Saban's philosophy as a head coach. That is tonight, 8 p.m. Central Time on NFL Network. That is going to be an absolute treat. And I'm going to try to catch some of that because I've always wanted to kind of go behind the scenes and pick Nick Saban's mind about how he would bounce from place to place prior to finding a home with the Crimson Tide in Tuscaloosa. This is his 15th season at Alabama, season number 15. But I always wondered, why did Saban have the idea of never stay at a place longer than 5 years. That's always stuck in my mind because he didn't stay at Michigan State longer than 5 years. He didn't stay at LSU longer than 5 years. He didn't stay with the Cleveland Browns as a defensive coordinator under Bill Belichick more than 5 years. And he did not stay at the Miami Dolphins more than 5 years. He was only there 2 years with the Dolphins. So I've always wanted to know what went into Saban's mindset to have that type of philosophy. Never overstay your welcome or stay longer than 5 years. But he has been at Alabama for 15 years. He and his wife, Miss Terry, have been enjoying it. So tonight, 8 p.m. Central Time, the coaching philosophy of one Nick Saban, the documentary on NFL Network. Check that out. We go to a call right now. You are live on the show on a Friday. In my own words, how you feeling? State your name and where you're calling from.
Stephen, I hate to call back in twice, but I forgot to mention it there the first time. This is Wayne. We need New Jack back in the chat. I want to make sure that he knows we all love him. And we need him back on the show. Everybody has asked and called and asked me about him, text me and called me. So I felt like that's my job as a president to make sure that he knows he's welcome. Everybody loves him. I know things were said. Forget about it. Come back on the show. We love you. We need you. And I guarantee you, Stephen thinks the same way. And I sure do appreciate the time for saying that. New Jack, we need you. We love you. I'll catch everybody next week. Bye-bye. Thank you, Stephen, for that. Bye-bye, everyone.
Appreciate Waylon calling back in, sharing that with us here on the show. We're going to go to a break right now, folks, but don't touch that dial because when we get back, we get into the Elimination Game, the 3-pack of questions, talking to your Crimson Tide, setting this up for this matchup with Florida. Don't touch that dial. We wrap things up after this.
If you're an Alabama Crimson Tide fan and you love to flaunt it, then show your Alabama Crimson Tide support by grabbing the All-Bama sneakers. They feature bold Crimson Tide graphics, so no one will be able to question where your allegiance lies. When you add these sweet sneakers to your Alabama Crimson Tide collection, go to stsfootwear.com and use the code TDAlabama for $15 off your purchase. That's code TDAlabama for $15 off your purchase. Go to stsfootwear.com and get your All-Bama sneakers today. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide. Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
We're back in, folks, with the action on the number one forum for Crimson Tide football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen M. Smith, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. And before we tidy up some loose ends here, wrapping up the show with the Elimination Game, got to remind you of TDAwear.com. That's TDAwear.com. So for all of you fans still overjoyed with the Crimson Tide's national championship from the 2020 season, we want you to check out our championship collection merch. Now this means you grab you an 18 of them things, folk, hoodie, t-shirt, or sweatshirt, as well as our Got 18 We Do shirts. Designs that feature all 18 championship years on the back. You head on over to TDAwear.com. Do it right now. TDAwear.com, and you get you that gear today. You go to the Championship Collections merch tab, get you that gear today, show them that support for Coach Saban, the University of Alabama, the student athletes, and us here at Touchdown Alabama Magazine. But now, we get into the Elimination Game, the 3-pack of questions discussing your Crimson Tide. Y'all know how this works. We got 4 answer choices on the board, and we eliminate all answer choices down to we get to my opinion of what is the correct answer choice for the Crimson Tide in terms of players stepping up and big moments, having successful games here. Now, what makes this fun for you, the fans, would be John Ivory will be conducting we'll have polls in the chat. So you get a chance to vote for who would your player be, or which player are you feeling in each question in terms of the elimination game. So let's get this thing popping here. Florida edition here of this contest, or of this interactive segment. So here we go. We got the defensive back. The defensive back with the best performance against Florida. Which DB will have the best performance against Florida? Our answer choices are as follows. We've got Josh Jobe, we got Jordan Battle, we've got Malachi Moore, and we got Jalen Armour Davis. Josh Jobe, Jordan Battle, Malachi Moore, and Jalen Armour Davis. So starting this thing off here with Josh Jobe, I mean, he's a Florida native. This is a Florida boy right here, native of Miami. This is a guy that coming off, not playing against Mercer just due to he was a little nicked up, banged up in practice that week. Coach Saban did not want to push him, but all eyes in terms of NFL draft scouts are on him. He has potential to be first-round draft pick, top 15, top 20 selection right here. This is a big game for Jobe, and whether Jobe is going to be put on Jacob Copeland or whomever they match Jobe on in terms of the Florida wide receivers, this is a matchup for him to trust his technique. Be physical, but trust his technique out there on the field against the Gators. So we're going to leave Jobe here on the screen for just a moment. We're going to move down to Jordan Battle. And I know Jordan Battle had the hilarious moment on on Tuesday in player interviews, and people are not going to let that go down or live that down. But it appears that Coach Saban, not bothered by, not upset by the comments from Jordan Battle in the interviews. Honestly, Saban jokingly was like, look, if you know what that is, then you know what that is. If you don't know what that is, as long as you're not taking it as a bad thing, then we roll how we roll. So even Saban, being the jokester that he is, he can take a good joke. But Jordan Battle, another Florida guy at that free safety position, a guy that is a film junkie, can play the lower thirds, can go sideline to sideline, can break up on passes, can create turnovers. Just a big time, IQ of a player on the back end of that secondary. Really like what Jordan Battle brings to the table. He's another one that can potentially be a first-round draft pick. But we're gonna push Battle off to the side here for just a moment, and we're gonna look at now Malachi Moore. This is a guy that had interception against Miami, should have had his second pick of a season against Mercer, however, got taken away due to somebody blocking in the back. I'm not quite sure who that was. But Malachi Moore, an absolute ball hawk on that back end. Whether you put him at star, whether you put him at safety, he can flat out ball. He can track the football. He can make plays, and he makes plays on the field. And really like his skill set, really like his ability, really like his leadership, really like the way he has played, especially the 2020 season so far here in this campaign. And we're going to keep Malachi Moore on the screen here as we move on to Jalen Armour Davis, kick slide king. Did not play against Mercer for the same reasons as Josh Jobe, a little nicked up, banged up in practice, had a good game against Miami. Looking forward to seeing how he performs against Florida, because he's got size, he's got length, he's got IQ, he's got instincts, he's got athleticism. But we're going to put Armour Davis off to the side now. So this leaves us with Josh Jobe and Malachi Moore. Defensive back with the best performance against Florida, Josh Jobe or Malachi Moore. 43% of you are going Malachi, and 33% of you are going Jalen Armour Davis. So 40% Malachi, 33% are going Jalen Armour Davis. I'm actually going to go against the grain here. Give me Josh Jobe here. And the reason why I'm saying Josh Jobe is for the simple fact of, once again, NFL draft scouts are going to be looking at him in this game to have a big-time performance, to maybe get an interception, get some pass breakups, make some secure tackles in space, take Florida's best receiver out the picture, take Florida's best receiver out the frame. We know he can be physical, but can he not be extremely physical to where you see the penalties happen there on the field? So Josh Jobe, the guy that will have the best defensive performance, in my opinion, in terms of the secondary. As we move on here to the next topic here in the elimination game, this is on screen here, we got the Alabama change-up offensive weapon. Who will be the change-up, the change of pace offensive weapon for Alabama against Florida? The answer choices are as follows. We've got here on screen, looks like we've got here, so we got Slade Bolt, we got Cameron Latou. We got Cameron Latou, we've got Jaleel Billingsley, we got JoJo Earl, and Jamison Williams. Cam Latou, Jaleel Billingsley, JoJo Earl, and Jamison Williams, the change-up weapon for Alabama's offense against Florida. So starting this thing off with Cam Latou. Latou had a big game against Miami. Had three catches, 2 of those for touchdowns. His first 2 career touchdowns as an Alabama football tight end at 6'5", 250 pounds. Big body, big athleticism, good hands, good speed, good weapon, especially in the red area. And I like Latou, and I think he is a huge weapon. But we're going to move Latou off here for just a moment. We're going to move Latou off screen here. As we look at Jaleel Billingsley, I know Jaleel has been or was in the quote-unquote Saban's doghouse. It appears that he is out now. He played a little bit against Mercer, played a little bit there against Miami on special teams. And I think this week will be the moment. This week will be the moment where Saban lets him out the cage on offense, and Jaleel could probably do some stuff. I think this is the week right here. Saban lets Billingsley out the cage. You go back to the Miami game where there's that picture of Saban and Jaleel talking on the sideline, and Saban being stern papa, stern parent, going, look, son, I didn't want to do you like this. You seen Latou out there balling? That should be you out there balling. That should be you out there shot calling. That should be you out there catching touchdown passes. Come on, Jaleel. Come on, Jaleel. That should be you out there, baby. I didn't want to do you like this. But because you didn't want to listen to me from the jump, I had to do you like this. And Jaleel the whole time, yes, coach. Yes, coach. I understand, coach. Yes, coach. You right, coach. And the whole time, he was intently listening to what Saban had to tell him. So I think this is the week that Jaleel gets freed, nets out offensively, and can do some things. So we're going to leave Jaleel Billingsley on the screen for a moment. We go now to JoJo Earl. And people, I mentioned this on the pregame, on the update show with our own Patrick Dow. We have seen in years past, starting back from 2008, when Alabama has had a big-time freshman in the Nick Saban era. That freshman uses the SEC platform to announce itself, introduce itself to the world, make huge plays, and have people going, where in the world did Saban get that guy from? JoJo Earl, fast, quick twitch, athletic, speed, hands. Bryce Young talked about it. When Earl got on campus in the summer, this was a different dude. He's got a professional mindset. So we're going to keep JoJo Earl here on screen. As we go now to Jamison Williams, here is a guy that had 4 catches for $126 and a touchdown against Miami to open up the season. Looked really good game 1. Game 2 against Mercer, didn't have a touchdown, but dropped a wide open pass. So, want to see those hands become all the more consistent there when you look at one Jamison Williams. I like him. He's a baller, can play, but want to see those hands against Florida be all the more consistent. But we'll move Jamison Williams off to the side here. So we got Jaleel Billingsley and JoJo Earl, Alabama's change-up offensive weapon here against Florida. Listen to what you guys think here as the fan base. 29% of you are going Cam Latou. 29% of you are going Jaleel Billingsley. 29% of you are going JoJo Earl. And I guess 12% of you are going with Jamison Williams. We got a bunch of 29s and then the 12% to Jamison Williams. I'm going to go with the 29% rocking Jaleel Billingsley. That's what I'm going right now. I think this is his week. This is his week. Big game, SEC game. He's learned his lesson. He intently listened to Coach Saban. He understands what he has to do. He knows what he has to do. He's had a great week of practice. I think this is the week you get this young man on the field offensively, whether you have him on the inline, whether you stretch him out, and you let him go to work against this Florida defensive secondary. Jaleel Billingsley, that's the guy I am going with this week as the offensive change-up player for Alabama. We move on to the last thought here in the elimination game here for your Crimson Tide. We've got Florida native to dominate the Gators. The Alabama player who is a Florida native Floridian to dominate the Gators. Our answer choices are as follows. We've got Jordan Battle, Tim Smith, Trey Sanders, Dallas Turner. Our answer choices, Jordan Battle, Tim Smith, Trey Sanders, Dallas Turner, all of these Florida natives. Now, starting this off with Battle, that's a native of South Florida, Fort Lauderdale. Film junkie, studies the game, good with creating turnovers, breaking up on the ball, big hitter, big tackler, got high IQ, potential to be a first-round draft pick. Really like what Jordan Battle brings to the table here. We're gonna keep Jordan on screen. We're gonna keep Jordan on screen. We're gonna move now to one Tim Smith, and this is somebody from Sebastian River, Florida that fans want to see more of. People have been saying, DJ Dale's all right, but can we see more of Tim Smith? Can we see Tim Smith out there more? Tim Smith last year, when he got into games, he was a real deal beast. Can we see Big 50 out there more on the defensive line at that nose tackle position? Because he can blow stuff up. He can do some things that Christian Barmore did, that Deron Payne did, that, Dalvin Tomlinson did, and a lot of these guys did, that Quentin Williams did. So can we see more of Tim Smith out here on the field? And I like Tim. Now, I think Tim's going to have some success here against Florida, but we're going to move Tim off to the side here for just a moment. Now we look at Trey Sanders. Trey Sanders, a native of Florida, Port St. Joe, Florida, a guy that had his first career rushing touchdown against Miami to open the season. Everybody was so proud of him, so happy for him, his determination, his stick-to-itiveness, his perseverance, not letting the injuries get him down, but continue to forge his way forward. Had a pretty good showing, a little decent showing there against Mercer as well, but comes back home to Florida, comes to Gainesville, comes to the Swamp. Big opportunity here for one Trey Sanders. We're going to keep Trey on screen. I want to keep Trey here for a moment. So we move now to Dallas Turner, who from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, a guy that played at the two premier high schools in Florida, St. Thomas Aquinas High School and American Heritage High School at 6'4", 245 pounds. The freshman, violent hands, violent feet, violent pass rush ability, violent tools on the field to be the next best edge rusher for the future. Next best edge rusher for the future. One Dallas Turner. I think he will get some work in. He may get some work in against the Gators this weekend, but we'll move Dallas Turner off to the side as well. So we got Jordan Battle, Trey Sanders, Florida native that will dominate the Gators. Trey Sanders, Jordan Battle. We've got 40% Trey Sanders. We got 45% Trey Sanders. We got 40% Jordan Battle. We got 10% Tim Smith. We got 5% Dallas Turner. So Trey Sanders, Jordan Battle both up there. Those are the two on screen. Give me Jordan Battle for the win here. Give me Jordan Battle as the Florida native that will dominate the Gators. I think he's going to come out there and have a big game. I think he's going to go out there and have a big game. I'm predicting this. He gets a pick. Jordan Battle gets a pick in this game. Battle gets a pick in this game. Battle's going to be all over the field. He'll have about 4 to 5 pass breakups, but I think he does get that interception in this football game coming back home here to Florida. That'll be my answer there, my opinion there for the Florida native to have the big-time performance there against Georgia, but that's the elimination, against Florida, but that's the elimination game, folks. The 3-pack of questions discussing your Crimson Tide. Always fun to have these interactive segments with you. But as always, Tide Nation, you want the best in news, notes, information, material on your favorite program, that being Bama football. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama Magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you got the Android phone. For your audio listening needs, we got you taken care of. iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, Overcast.fm, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, Google Play. We got you covered right there. If the good and gracious Lord sees fit, I'll be back on Monday, continuing the conversation that is Tide football. Got to shout out Gucci Todd, that $5 donation helping us out there in the chat line. Gucci Todd, appreciate the love from him. But like I said, Tide fans, you can purchase individual copies of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Have those sent to your door. That link will be found in the description. If you're also trying to get your hands on that fresh edition, print edition of TDA, the magazine, you go to touchdownalabama.com. You click join, become a member, a subscriber today. That link will be found in the description. Also, if you're trying to get that 4-finger bling necklace, 4-finger bling jewelry, courtesy of WeOwnTheFourthQuarter.com. That's WeOwnTheFourthQuarter.com. That link in the description as well. Also, Bama fans, you got to check out tomorrow, 2 p.m. Central Time, the TDA Watch Party. My gosh, John Ivory, Justin Smith will be giving you the Watch Party on YouTube. Check it out tomorrow, 2 p.m. Central Time. Kick it with your boys, John Ivory, Justin Smith, TDA Watch Party. I'll be live in the chat myself, hanging out with the guys as well. But until next time, folks, husbands, love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands, children. Weekend here, weekend in the building, but continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing, to not be bored. You get you those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself, you protect the loved ones around you. Enjoy the game, everybody. Until next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen M. Smith. This has been In My Own Words.